it took us, we've been in quarantine for 5 months, and now we're just, like, picking it up and be like, we could record videos overnight.
It's almost August, but, we're going to start now. Welcome to Prima Podcast 2.0, this time with our faces.
But yeah, today we are going to be talking about the most cinematic movie from our childhood, brought so many stars into the light, really captivates the audience, such a unique, beautiful plot. The Cinderella story from 2004 featuring Hilary Duff and what's his name?
Chad Michael Murray.
I was about to say Chad Dylan Cooper.
No. We have to address the CGI intro.
They really thought they were doing something. Just like the CGI in this movie is not where the budget went.
They didn't need CGI. How about that?
No, but like, and the CGI of when Sam is hitting a baseball and then it turns into Jennifer Coolidge's face. I don't know who the director was of this, but CGI was not the way to go.
Yeah, and also the CGI raindrop at the ending scene, too.
Who? I found it so weird. I don't know. I was watching, and after Sam's dad dies, they tilt up on Sam, and her outfit is very questionable. She's wearing Converse wrong. Her cuffed pants are 6 inches. And she's wearing an oversized hoodie that couldn't be her dad's because it wasn't big enough to be a man's.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought, why would you put a 7-year-old into this outfit?
In the outfit, it also has the baseball hat, and it fits when she's an adult.
I'm sorry, that's not how
movie magic. I put Converse plus dad cap plus sweatshirt equals quirky female protagonist.
I'm so glad that we both picked up on this. So I just find it very incredible that we're on the same wavelength here. Even though you're only 2 miles away, it's still the same wavelength. The beginning is so rough.
It really is.
It's so rough. So not even at the 15-minute mark, I was looking at all the cuts, and there was one that just jarred me, which it's called a jar cut for those who don't know. It's the scene where she's talking with, what's his name? Carter.
See you later.
Yes. The secret admirer beckons.
But do you see what I mean? She turns and she turns again, and it doesn't sync up. It was on your editing team who thought they couldn't cut out a second of the last clip to make it better. I found that really upsetting. Just try. So you know how their whole shtick is that they're baseball players, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the CGI baseball. Sam, here's a movie tip. If you're gonna have your character pretend to be a softball or baseball player, teach them how to play.
Yeah, did you see how hunched over she was? She was like this,
She was hunched over, and she was fully using her back. She was just ah! I'm no! I'm wearing my softball shirt now. This is my credibility. This was not on purpose. But, guys, it's not hard to teach them how to hit a ball. You're not even hitting a ball. Just teach them how to pretend to hit a ball. Also, she was holding her bat wrong, but I'm not even going to touch on that. Yeah, I just found that very annoying.
Yes. I did notice that she had a princess canopy bed at age 17. I just feel like they really laid on the fairy tale theme a little too thick.
In some places it worked, a costume party. She was a princess. He was a prince. It makes sense. But that's, that could actually happen in reality. They're trying so hard to be this is a fairy tale. I hope you know that. We get it. It's called Cinderella. We know what it's about.
Yeah. The fairy tale book as a theme, princes go to Princeton, and that's where princesses should follow.
Why do princesses go to college?
They go, where the princes go. They go to Princeton.
No. Also, speaking of living in the attic, one of like the major turning points in the second act of the movie is her moving in with Ramona. Why didn't she do that earlier? Ramona's like, the only reason I stay here is for you. And she's like, nah, I'm gonna suffer with my stepsister and my stepmom in the attic and be her slave.
I did have a thing on her dress, because the dress, like, the boobage part, it is like white lace with a nude, like, white people nude background. And like, if this was Ramona's dress, she would not have a tan, peach, whatever you want, nude background for her dress, because it wouldn't work, because that's not her skin tone.
Movie magic.
Exactly, movie magic.
But also, if she lived with Ramona, her whole thing was like, oh, I have to stay with Fiona to have money for college. But Fiona pretended that she didn't get into Princeton. If she lived with Ramona, that wouldn't have happened.
She wouldn't have known that wouldn't have happened. But yes, in hindsight, it wouldn't have happened. So, speaking of Princeton, I just really have to touch on, like, yes, she says that she does AP stuff, and she studies and works hard.
Frozen.
But what else is there about her?
Frozen.
Am I still frozen?
Yes. Yeah, she doesn't have anything. She has no, like, redeeming qualities for her. See, Austin Ames, first of all, he would get into USC because his dad is an alumni. They could have given him a lot of. Also, he has extracurriculars going for him. He's got outside of work, outside of school activities going for him. Sam, you work at a diner.
Yeah.
You're dining.
That is also a thing, because they call her diner girl and they make fun of her so much for it. However, the popular guy works at a car wash.
I wrote that down in my notes. Okay, there's a scene where she is trying to find a parking space or school with Carter, and she finds one, and it's taken. And then she finds another one, and a G-Wagon pulls up, and there's Austin Ames, right? Why does he have a G-Wagon? His dad owns a car wash. Well, I was thinking, I don't know if you've seen Breaking Bad, but one of the plot lines is that they buy a car wash who launder their money from meth making. So, conspiracy theory, Austin Ames' dad, what's his name? I wrote his name, Andy Ames is a meth trafficker.
Possibly. Did you see that they had like 13 American flags out on the front of the car wash?
I did. Andy Ames is someone who would be All Lives Matter. I wrote that down in my notes. But yeah, he works at a car wash, which is probably a dirtier job than working at a diner. But I guess because he's cute and his dad owns it, it's better.
Speaking of having money that makes no sense, Fiona owns a diner, and somehow she can afford all these surgeries and Botox and a fancy car and able to pay the water bill from Norwegia. Like, there's just some stuff that doesn't add up, honey.
I'm telling you, everyone here is in the drug game. They're in the San Fernando Valley. That is literally, like, the drug game is there. That's how they're making money.
So, we have to touch on Jennifer Coolidge, because she is the American icon.
Love her.
First off, the salmon diet.
From Norwegia.
It costs a fortune to fly that stuff in from Norwegia.
Yes, the obviously fake green lawn.
Leave those on. The lawn's looking a little brown.
Fiona, we're supposed to be conserving water! We're in the middle of a drought!
Droughts are for poor people. You think J-Lo has a brown lawn?
Except for Sam. She is a great mother. She loves her kids. She encourages her daughters. She tells them that they're beautiful. She puts so much money into them. But I do want to touch on something that's like low-key kind of good, that like a continuity correction, I guess, is they kind of, I think they put a little bit of thought into this in the script, is when Austin doesn't suspect that Sam is the girl, is Princeton girl something.
Yes.
So the night of the homecoming, he goes to the diner, she's there, right? Serves Shelby water. Then they leave. He gets to the dance, sees a masked girl, I guess doesn't look like Sam, because like cheekbones are the giveaway. And then Sam is back at the diner. So I thought that was a really, like, it was subtle, but also I want to give props to them, because a lot of the times they don't give explanations on why, except people don't suspect them.
Yeah, honestly. And like, if Corona has taught us anything, masks don't hide people's people's faces that much. You can still
No.
tell who people are.
Yes. Their body aura is more than this here.
Yeah.
There is an obligatory fashion montage in this one.
Yes.
I think I know the one with Selena Gomez has one.
Yeah.
I don't know about the other two,
I don't.
but it was
Selena Gomez also has a cleaning montage as well.
Because there's so many montages in this film. It's a film, like it's a critically acclaimed thing. Oh, but I do want to say that I do support Shelby's bullying. This is where I say bring back bullying if you're gonna do it right. This girl orchestrated a skit, wrote a play, taught her cheer squad this 10-minute play just to call out this girl who may or may not have stolen her boyfriend. If you're gonna bully, do it like Shelby.
You have to give props.
But then after she kisses Carter and finds out who he is, she's like, "You're the theater freak, hun. You just put on a skit." That's contradicting yourself.
Oh, and also, diner girl, but they all eat at the diner.
Right. Right.
You can't call out someone for working at a place when you eat at the place that you're making fun of.
Right. I just want to say, I love Austin's friends. I think they bring so much light and so much comedy to this movie.
Even though one's like a little bit racist.
So the one who almost kind of sexually assaulted Shelby at the dance, but
yes.
Up to then, peak comedy. Someone had a crush on one of his friends. I know Dylan pointed this out in his commentary, but I just think it's hilarious.
Oh yes, the teacher?
The teacher. Honey, she caressed that girl's breast at the beginning. She was like, move your hand.
I pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance.
You too can dress up like someone you're not for a change. I mean,
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America.
You cannot touch her like that.
No.
So I'm getting to the end of my notes, but one thing I want to point out is how this movie really speaks upon feminism and then does a 180 around it.
Yes. I have that in my notes as well.
Like, Sam struts into that men's locker room, calls out Austin, and Ben like,
And even though I have no family and no job and no money for college, it's you that I feel sorry for.
And then he's just like, and then 5 minutes later, they're making out on the bleachers.
Yeah, he was like, I'm sorry it took till Lorraine, and she was like, it's okay, and I was like, what?
Sam, in your ground!
Also, feminism, when she hits the CGI baseball, and he's like, now that's impressive.
That was a girl who hit that? Wow.
And then the, Big Mac or salad.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm quirky.
Oh, and he was, applauding her for that. But then when they were when the line formed for the girls who, hey, I'm Cinderella, Helga was made fun of, and he was holding back his laugh. You like a girl that's not worried about her weight. However, when Helga is standing right in front of you, you laugh at her.
Austin Ames, I feel like he'd be such an asshat. Like, Chad Dillon Cooper, oh my gosh, no.
We're leaving that in.
Oh my
Chad Michael Murray.
I
Did you write it?
Dillon.
Oh
I know.
Honey, this is not Sunny with a Chance.
Okay, but they made that character to make fun of this guy.
Chad Michael Murray.
Michael Murray, they made him to make fun of him. Chad Dillon Cooper was made to make fun of Chad Michael Murray. I don't know where I was going with this. Oh, right. He seems kind of like an asshole. And I wouldn't, but he's quirky because he wants to go to Princeton.
And he's a poet.
My dad doesn't know. He gives me Hayden vibes from After.
Oh God.
It's like, I'm dark and my parents don't approve of what I want to do. You know?
Near the like very end of the movie, the scene, oh my God. There are 9 seconds left on the clock, and Hilary Duff is just like, I'm sorry, I thought I could do this, but I can't. Like, honey, by the time you step down and away from the field, the game is over.
You're gonna be fine. Also, speaking about the game, what student body is chanting their QB's name? Austin! Austin! Like, nobody's doing that. I don't think people get hype about it as much as this movie likes to say.
Like, we have like certain high-ranking sports teams, like our track team, but no one's like obsessed with the track team.
Right. Our girls basketball team went to states and nobody was there like, I'm just gonna say a random name. I don't know anybody on the girl basketball team. Nobody was like, Sarah. Nobody was doing that.
But like that might also have something to do with misogyny, but we're not gonna touch on that. Carter, wholesome friend. We have to support. This is like one of the coming of age movies where the friend is just like there and supportive no matter what.
Carter is so, I'm like, I want Carter to be my friend. I'm sorry, but Carter deserves everything. He deserves life.
After he gets rid of his Snoop Dizzle, Zorro, and cowboy outfits, we can talk. Also saying, go ahead, girlfriend, to Rhonda multiple times.
You go ahead, girlfriend. You go ahead, girlfriend. Do your thing.
Like, there's a little bit of racism in this movie.
Yeah, well, that's our commentary on Cinderella. I looked up the famous birthdays today. Our one and only, our favorite blue genie, Robin Williams' birthday is today.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. I love you. Please come back in another life.
Birthday
But
as
also
in
Romeo Santos, which
July 21st, which is a Tuesday, because we're probably not releasing this on the same day. But rest in peace, Robin Williams.
Well, this has been Prima Podcast. I'm Jeanette.
I'm
And that
Miranda.
is Miranda. And we will talk to you next week.